5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you are down in the dumps, you're going to want to listen to this next segment because we're going to be talking to the mom queen, Melissa Pocza. She's going to be teaching us how to live life with sparkle. That's next on the Jeff Crilley Show.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, we all get down in the dumps occasionally, but my next guest is going to be talking about how you should be wearing your tiara every single day. Melissa Pocza, she's known as the Mom Queen. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you and I instantly liked each other because all I had to say was Detroit,
Yes.
and we had a common bond. So
Yes,
we
yes,
both grew up in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us your story.
Well, I grew up in the inner city of Detroit, and very not so easy and a little rough life. Been through a lot of challenges, but I realized that those challenges are what made my sparkle. You know, and it took me so many years of hiding them and hiding who I was and trying to be somebody and show your front side versus your real side. And that's when I just stepped into my sparkle, I call it.
I love it. You're an entrepreneur, speaker, mom, wife. You've done it all. We want to show your book cover, Basic B. It's the practical advice from a real mom queen. Tell us the reaction to the book so far.
Well, the title throws people off a little bit.
Sure.
But I did that on purpose, because I feel like as a 6-foot-tall woman in a man's world, I've always been judged. I've been judged about my upbringing, being the only inner city white girl where I lived and went to school. And there was always a judgment factor I felt in all things and aspects that I chose to do and chose to support. And that's exactly what the book does. It throws you off by the title, and immediately you want to judge it by its cover. But what it is it's celebrating our own accomplishments, that you don't have to be Miss USA, Mrs. America. You don't have to be that to shine. That we all have an opportunity to shine in our own basic. You know, it's pumpkin spice season. It's time to be basic.
I love it. And when we say you're a mom queen, that's not just a figure of speech. We're going to show some video from one of your mini pageants. So I want to blow my audience away. How many pageants have you won?
Oh gosh, I think I've got a showroom of crowns, like 8 or 9. I've broken history, which is pretty cool as a missus. I'm the only one that's ever been crowned for Texas twice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I've won multiple state titles. I've the only one in history so far that has been top 3 in the big 3 of Mrs. Pageant. So, and it's been a journey, a self-discovery journey.
And for those people who have never been a part of a pageant, it takes a lot of discipline. I mean, there's a lot that goes into winning a pageant, isn't
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially nowadays with social media and platforms and how much extra work goes into it before even you hit this stage. Absolutely.
Well, you had so many accolades, but I think one of your proudest accomplishments is being a great mom. And I want to talk about your son specifically. He's done something amazing, and I'm not going to reveal it. I'm going to let Fox 4 reveal it. Let's roll that clip now.
We all know bullying can take a heavy toll on a young person who's targeted. Well, a McKinney 5th grader who'd had enough of being mistreated by some of his classmates came up with a truly original response. Dan Godwin has this week's Fox Forward.
It is a pleasure to say hello to 11-year-old Trey Pocza of McKinney and Trey's mom, Melissa. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
When you hear about Trey's journey and how he's responded to the challenges in his life, you can't help but think, brilliant. Now, Melissa, Trey has been diagnosed with a number of learning disorders and a couple of neurological conditions, not specifically autism, but being bullied at school had become a pretty regular part of Trey's life.
Yeah, it breaks your heart as a mom. I mean, the last thing you want to do is see your child struggle or cry, you know.
And Trey, the comments that other kids would make, how would those make you feel?
Sad, mad and all that.
Yeah.
Stressful.
So one day, Melissa, Trey comes home after an especially bad day at school, and he laments to you. It's like, why can't people understand that being different is cool? And he presents this idea. What if I was to create a line of t-shirts with messages on them that empower other kids who are different? I mean, this was an idea he sort of laid out to you.
Yeah, my husband and I looked at each other like, you know what, kid, you're onto something.
And out of Trey's ideas came his own company, online, Special Kids Tees.
Right.
And we talk about the slogans on the shirts. Well, here's a sample of them. A different kind of cool. Back off bullies. Normal is boring. Smarter than you think. Different is beautiful. And be kind. I'm fighting my own battle. And Melissa, these shirts have inspired not just kids with special needs, but educators, but also it's made bullies sort of rethink the way they behave.
Absolutely. You know, Trey no longer was sitting at lunch by himself or being teased. It was all of a sudden cool to be different, you know.
And over the last couple of years, Trey, you've sold hundreds of these t-shirts. You fulfill all of the orders yourself that come in. So far it's been all t-shirts, short sleeve, some long sleeve, but you've got this plan to introduce other kinds of garments. Talk about that.
New t-shirts, and then I'm coming out with a sweatshirt soon. Then next summer I'm making a short no sleeves with a hoodie.
And you were saying, Melissa, that the sales of the shirts go way up whenever Trey appears at a conference for special education where teachers and kids are in attendance.
Yeah, Trey's won the I Believe in Myself National Scholarship last year, or the year before, and every time they ask him back to come speak to other kids that can relate to him. It inspires the children to know that they can do something, they have an ability behind their disability.
And Trey, there's not a lot of 11-year-olds who can say, I launched my own business.
Yeah. Most people don't believe me.
They're skeptical, but then they can go to the website and they can see, hey, it is for real. All right, Trey, Melissa, thank you so much. We've got a link to Special Kids Tees at our website. Just go to fox4news.com/links.
Wow, what a great piece! And I'm dying for an update. So that was filmed back in December.
It was,
give
and
us
it
an
makes me
update.
cry
because
he's so big. It's like, what was he eating these past 6 months?
It goes so fast.
It does.
Well, how's he doing?
He's doing great. We moved to a small town, and he's just thriving.
That's
he's thriving.
wonderful.
You know, he started football, and there's nothing like Texas football, I tell you that. But he also realizes how those difference. I think it's the first time in his life where he's mature enough to realize that those things that make him special really affect the areas that he can care about too. Because before at school, it's school. But it's amazing he can't memorize his plays or positions, and he's really realizing how hard he has to work just to be to keep up.
Well, I applaud you and your husband for having the wisdom to support him in his dreams. I find that too many parents, a child comes up with an idea and they're instantly talking the child out of it or pointing out the challenges.
Yeah.
And you guys did just the opposite.
Yeah, we come from, my husband is an entrepreneur, my father-in-law is, my father is, we all come from an entrepreneur background, so it's easy for Trey to see that. He started with a lawn mowing service, when he was 8, and he was smart. He was offering all the neighbors their first service for free. But then he got upset at my husband and I because then he had to realize we had to drive him around. So then it was the T-shirts.
Well, I think you are an amazing mom and so inspirational. We're out of time, so we're going to put the website up so you guys can get in touch with Melissa and her son. momqueen.com is the website. Melissa Pocza, you are truly an inspiration. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.